June 5, 1944. The largest invasion in human history is 24 hours away. And it all depends on whether the Nazis believe one man's lie. This is the story of 5 spies who risked everything and won wars with nothing but deception. Number 5. Juan Pujol Garcia. The largest invasion in human history is about to begin. 156,000 Allied soldiers are preparing to storm the beaches of Normandy. And the entire operation hinges on one man's lie. His name was Juan Pujol Garcia. A Spanish chicken farmer. No military training. No spy experience. Just an ordinary man who decided to fight the Nazis by becoming the greatest double agent in history. The unlikely spy. In 1941, Garcia approached the British, offering to spy for them against Nazi Germany. They rejected him. Twice. So he did something insane. He contacted the Germans and convinced them he was a loyal fascist willing to spy on Britain. The Nazis believed him. They gave him a codename, Alaric. They sent him money, invisible ink, and instructions. There was just one problem: Garcia was still in Portugal. He'd never even been to Britain. So he bought a blue guide to England, studied a map of London, and started sending fake intelligence reports to Berlin, from a country he'd never visited. He claimed he was recruiting a network of sub-agents across Britain. He invented detailed backstories for each one. A Venezuelan student in Glasgow. A Welsh nationalist in Swansea. A greedy waiter in Soho. None of them existed. Operation Garbo. When the British finally discovered what Garcia was doing, they were stunned. This amateur had fooled German intelligence so completely that Berlin was making strategic decisions based on his fabricated reports. MI5 brought him to London in 1942, gave him a new codename, Garbo, and turned him into their secret weapon. Over the next 2 years, Garcia expanded his fictional spy network to 27 imaginary sub-agents. He sent over 500 radio messages to Germany. 20 messages per day during peak periods. The Germans trusted him so completely that 62 of his reports were included in official OKW intelligence summaries read by Hitler himself. The D-Day deception. By 1944, Garcia was the centerpiece of Operation Fortitude, the massive Allied deception plan to hide the true location of D-Day. His mission: convince the Germans that 75 British divisions were massing in southeast England, preparing to invade Pas-de-Calais, not Normandy. Garcia's fictional agents sent detailed reports. Troop movements. Supply convoys. Radio chatter. All pointing to Calais. The Germans believed every word. On June 6, 1944, when Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy, Hitler's best armored divisions, the 1st SS Panzer Division, the 116th Panzer Division, sat idle 150 miles away in Calais. They were waiting for an invasion that would never come. Even after D-Day began, Garcia sent an urgent message to Berlin: Normandy is a diversion. The real invasion is still coming at Calais. The Germans kept their divisions in Calais for 7 more weeks. The double honor. In July 1944, Nazi Germany awarded Juan Pujol Garcia the Iron Cross Second Class for his extraordinary service to the Reich. In November 1944, King George VI awarded him the Member of the Order of the British Empire for his deception work. He remains the only person in history to receive military honors from both sides, for the same wartime service. Historians estimate Garcia's deception saved thousands of Allied lives on D-Day. Some say tens of thousands. One man. 27 fictional spies. 500 fake reports. And the greatest military deception in human history. The princess who refused to break. Paris. Summer 1943. The Gestapo has just arrested nearly every British radio operator in France. The entire SOE network is collapsing. And one woman makes a decision that will cost her everything. Her name was Noor Inayat Khan. An Indian princess. A children's book author. A pacifist who played the harp and wrote fairy tales. She was the last person you'd expect to become Britain's most wanted spy in Nazi-occupied France. The reluctant warrior. Noor was born into royalty. Her father was an Indian Sufi mystic and musician. Her mother was American. She grew up in Paris, writing children's stories for French radio, living a life of art and spirituality. When the Nazis invaded France in 1940, Noor's family fled to Britain. And something changed inside her. This pacifist, this gentle soul who believed in nonviolence, walked into an SOE recruitment office and volunteered to fight. The SOE, Special Operations Executive, Churchill's secret army of saboteurs and spies. They trained agents to parachute into occupied Europe, blow up railways, and coordinate resistance networks. Noor's instructors had doubts. Her training reports said she was not overburdened with brains and too emotional and impulsive for field work. But she had one skill the SOE desperately needed: she was a trained wireless operator. And in 1943, radio operators in France were dying faster than they could be replaced. Madeleine. On June 16, 1943, Noor parachuted into France under the codename Madeleine. Her mission: transmit intelligence from the French resistance back to London. Every message she sent helped coordinate sabotage operations, supply drops, and escape routes for downed Allied pilots. It was a death sentence of a job. The average life expectancy of an SOE radio operator in occupied France was 6 weeks. The Gestapo had radio detection vans that could triangulate a transmission in under 30 minutes. Every time Noor tapped out a message in Morse code, she was gambling with her life. Within weeks of her arrival, the Gestapo arrested nearly every SOE agent in her network. Her circuit was destroyed. London ordered her to evacuate immediately. She refused. For 3 months, Noor was the only operational SOE radio link in Paris. She moved safe houses every few days. Changed her appearance. Transmitted from attics, basements, anywhere she could set up her radio for 20 minutes. She sent over 20 critical intelligence reports back to London during this period. Messages that coordinated resistance operations across northern France. Captured but unbroken. On October 13, 1943, the Gestapo finally caught her. Betrayed by a French collaborator who sold her location for 100,000 francs. They found her codebooks. Her radio. Everything they needed to impersonate her and feed false intelligence to London. But Noor refused to cooperate. She attempted escape twice. The Nazis labeled her highly dangerous and shipped her to Pforzheim prison in Germany, where she was shackled in solitary confinement for 10 months. She never broke. Never gave up a single name. Never transmitted a single false message under duress. On September 13, 1944, Noor Inayat Khan was transferred to Dachau concentration camp and executed by a single shot to the back of the head. Her last word was Liberté. The legacy. In 1949, Noor was posthumously awarded the George Cross, Britain's highest civilian honor for gallantry. In 2012, a bronze bust of Noor was unveiled in London, the first memorial to an Asian woman in the UK. A princess who wrote fairy tales became the spy who refused to surrender. But courage came in many forms during World War II. Our next spy didn't fight with radios or guns, he fought with his mind. Number 3. Alan Turing, the mathematician who cracked the unbreakable. Imagine a weapon so powerful it could sink battleships, destroy convoys, and kill thousands, without firing a single shot. That weapon was the Enigma machine. Nazi Germany's encryption device. It generated 159 million possible combinations. The Nazis believed it was absolutely unbreakable. They were wrong. One man broke it. A shy, awkward mathematician who couldn't tie his own tie properly. His name was Alan Turing. And his work shortened World War II by an estimated 2 years, saving 14 million lives. The mind that changed warfare. Alan Turing wasn't a soldier. He was a Cambridge mathematician obsessed with logic puzzles and theoretical machines. In 1939, When Britain declared war on Germany, Turing was recruited to Bletchley Park, a secret government facility 50 miles north of London. His mission: break the Nazi Enigma code. Every day, German U-boats, aircraft, and military units sent thousands of encrypted messages through Enigma machines. The Allies could intercept these messages, but they looked like random gibberish. Kordisgfn. Meaningless letters. Unless you could crack the code. The problem was mathematical impossibility. The Enigma machine had 3 rotors, each with 26 positions. A plug board with 10 connections. The settings changed every 24 hours at midnight. That meant 159 quintillion possible combinations. Even if you tested one combination per second, it would take 5 billion years to try them all. Turing looked at this impossible problem and solved it. The bomb. In 1940, Turing designed a machine called the bomb. An electromechanical computer that could test thousands of Enigma settings per hour. It didn't try every combination. That would still take forever. Instead, Turing exploited a flaw in how German operators used Enigma. German messages often contained predictable words. Wetter weather. 1. These were called cribs. Turing's bomb used these cribs to eliminate impossible settings, narrowing 159 quintillion combinations down to a handful of possibilities in under 20 minutes. By 1942, Bletchley Park was decrypting over 3,000 German messages per day. The intelligence was codenamed Ultra. And it changed everything. The Allies knew where U-boat wolf packs were hunting. They rerouted convoys, saving hundreds of ships. They read Rommel's supply requests in North Africa, starving his tank divisions of fuel. They intercepted German troop movements before D-Day, confirming the deception was working. Eisenhower himself said ultra-intelligence was decisive to Allied victory. The tragic ending. After the war, Turing's work remained classified. He received no public recognition. No medals. No parades. In 1952, British police arrested him for homosexuality, which was still illegal in Britain. He was convicted of gross indecency and chemically castrated. 2 years later, on June 7, 1954, Alan Turing was found dead in his home. Cyanide poisoning. He was 41 years old. The man who saved 14 million lives was destroyed by the country he saved. It took 59 years for Britain to apologize. In 2013, Queen Elizabeth II granted Turing a posthumous royal pardon. Today, the highest honor in computer science is called the Turing Award. Transition to spy number 2. Turing fought with mathematics. But our next spy fought with something even more dangerous: charm. Spy number 2, Virginia Hall. Number 2, Virginia Hall, the limping lady the Gestapo couldn't catch. The Gestapo called her the most dangerous of all Allied spies. They plastered her face on wanted posters across France. They offered rewards for her capture. They hunted her relentlessly for 3 years. And they never caught her. Her name was Virginia Hall. An American socialite with a wooden leg who became the Gestapo's worst nightmare. The woman who wouldn't quit. Virginia Hall wanted to be a diplomat. She spoke French, German, and Italian fluently. She had degrees from prestigious universities. In 1933, she joined the U.S. Foreign Service. Then, in 1933, a hunting accident in Turkey changed everything. She shot herself in the left foot. Gangrene set in. Doctors amputated her leg below the knee. The State Department rejected her diplomatic career. Their reason? A prosthetic leg was unsuitable for foreign service. Virginia refused to accept that answer. When World War II broke out, she volunteered for the French ambulance service. When France fell to the Nazis in 1940, she escaped to Britain and walked into the SOE headquarters. They said yes. Artemis. In August 1941, Virginia parachuted into Vichy, France under the codename Artemis. Her cover, an American journalist for the New York Post. Her real mission, build resistance networks from scratch. She recruited agents, organized sabotage operations, coordinated weapons drops, helped downed Allied pilots escape to Spain. She even broke 12 SOE agents out of a French prison by bribing guards and forging documents. For 15 months, Virginia ran the most successful spy network in occupied France, all while walking on a wooden leg she nicknamed Cuthbert. The Gestapo knew someone was coordinating resistance operations in Lyon. They called her the Limping Lady and made her their most wanted target. In November 1942, the Nazis invaded Vichy France. Virginia's cover was blown. The Gestapo was closing in. She had one option: escape over the Pyrenees Mountains into Spain. On foot. In winter. With a wooden leg. The trek normally took 2 days. It took Virginia 3. She hiked 50 miles through snow-covered mountain passes, sleeping in shepherd huts, her prosthetic leg causing constant pain. She radioed London, "Cuthbert is being tiresome." London, not knowing Cuthbert was her leg, replied, "If Cuthbert is giving you trouble, have him eliminated." Virginia made it to Spain. Then back to Britain. Then back to France. Diane. In March 1944, Virginia returned to France under a new identity, Diane, an elderly peasant woman. She dyed her hair gray, filed down her teeth, and walked with a shuffling gait to disguise her limp. For 6 months before D-Day, she coordinated resistance sabotage across central France. Her networks destroyed bridges, cut telephone lines, and derailed trains carrying German reinforcements. After the war, Virginia Hall became the only civilian woman to receive the Distinguished Service Cross, America's second highest military honor. The CIA recruited her in 1951. She worked there until 1966, running operations throughout the Cold War. The legend. The woman the State Department rejected because of her disability became one of the most decorated spies in American history. The Gestapo never caught her. The mountains couldn't stop her. And a wooden leg named Cuthbert never slowed her down. But there's one spy whose deception was so brilliant, so audacious, that he fooled Hitler himself. And he did it all, with fake agents that didn't exist. Spy number 5, Josephine Baker. Number 5, Josephine Baker, the dancer who smuggled secrets in her underwear. Picture this: Paris, 1940. The Nazis have just invaded France. While most celebrities fled to safety, one woman stayed behind. She was the most famous entertainer in Europe. She performed for sold-out crowds. She dined with generals and diplomats. She traveled freely across borders while everyone else needed papers. And she was spying for France the entire time. Her name was Josephine Baker. And she hid military secrets in the most unexpected places imaginable. From St. Louis to stardom. Josephine Baker was born in 1906 in St. Louis, Missouri, into crushing poverty. She grew up in the segregated American South, where racism was written into law. At 19, she moved to Paris and became an overnight sensation. Her performances at the Folies Bergerac packed theaters. She became the highest-paid entertainer in Europe. Royalty and millionaires attended her shows. But Josephine never forgot what racism felt like. When France gave her fame, fortune, and acceptance that America denied her, she became fiercely loyal to her adopted country. So when the Nazis invaded in 1940, Josephine didn't run. She joined the French resistance. The perfect spy. French intelligence recruited Josephine for one simple reason: she had access everywhere. Nazi officers loved her performances. They invited her to parties at embassies and military headquarters. German generals bragged about troop movements and military plans while trying to impress her. Josephine smiled, laughed, and remembered every word. Her handler was Jacques Abdi, a French intelligence officer. He taught her how to gather information without raising suspicion, how to memorize details, how to hide documents. And Josephine was brilliant at it. She attended diplomatic receptions and charity galas across Europe. While everyone watched her perform, she was watching them. Listening. Learning. Then came the genius part, how to smuggle the intelligence out. Josephine wrote military secrets in invisible ink on her sheet music. She pinned photographs of German installations inside her underwear. She had microfilm in her cosmetics cases. When border guards searched her luggage, they found exactly what they expected: costumes, makeup, and music sheets for France's most famous performer. They never suspected the truth. The dangerous missions. Between 1940 and 1944, Josephine traveled to Portugal, Spain, Morocco, and across North Africa on performance tours. In reality, she was carrying intelligence to British agents and Free French forces. Troop locations, supply routes, defense weaknesses, all hidden in plain sight. In Morocco, she smuggled photographs of Italian troop positions to Allied commanders. In Lisbon, she delivered reports on German submarine activity. The Gestapo suspected her. They opened investigations. But Josephine was too famous, too beloved, too visible to arrest without proof. And they never found any. After the war, France awarded Josephine the Croix de Guerre and the Rosette de la Resistance, two of the nation's highest military honors. The legacy. The woman America rejected because of her skin color became a war hero for France. She performed for millions. She fought for freedom. And she smuggled military secrets in her underwear while Nazi officers applauded her performances. Josephine Baker proved that the most dangerous spies aren't always the ones you'd expect. And that's our final spy on this list. These 5 spies changed the course of World War II. They deceived Hitler. They cracked impossible codes. They refused to break under torture. They turned their disabilities into weapons. And they hid secrets in the most unexpected places. But spies aren't the only mystery history has left us. Next week, we're diving into something even more baffling: entire civilizations that simply vanished. The Minoans. The Indus Valley. The Olmecs. Advanced societies with massive cities, sophisticated technology, and millions of people gone without a trace. What happened to them? Where did they go? And could it happen to us? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the 5 most baffling ancient civilizations that vanished, dropping next Wednesday at 9 a.m. See you in the past. Classical building.